morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. What's up, guys? How you doing? My name is Batrai Muka, aka Mr. Funnyman, aka your MC Bati, and as usual, I am joined by my brothers, Kuzaindoro, ND, Dutch, Chris Dimparinya. What's up, guys? How you doing, guys? How you doing? Yeah, Dimparinya. You have to understand, guys.
What's up, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How you guys doing, bro? How you guys doing? You good? You good? You live?
Personally, I would like to give an honest answer because I don't get my peace signs. But my week has been what's the word? Tumultuous. It's been hectic. Work has been difficult. As adults, I think everybody knows that when you have a hard week, it's really a hard week. Work has been very difficult for me naturally. Honestly, guys, hey, when you come to diaspora, you need to be ready, guys, because I wasn't ready for some of the shit I go through, but it is what it is. I'm alive. I'm here today, and I'm here to tell you a story. But
that's
anyway,
all we like. Here we go. Here we go. So no more peace signs, Kuzi. So don't give us peace signs, Kuzi. How's your week, bro? How are you doing, bro?
My week has been good, man. It has been good. Of course, good and bad. But it has just started too. So that's all I can say, man. My week has been good.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I've had a brilliant week. It's been a blessed week, man. I can't even lie. Things are happening. Things are moving for my life, so I can't even lie. But yeah, just speaking on the weeks that we've had, we always go through so many different emotions. As men, as people in general, So today's topic, I want to talk about emotional intelligence. This is something that I've been doing some research on over the past couple of weeks, and it's something that really it got me thinking. Goody, everyone has got emotions, but are we in tune with these emotions that we know we have? You know them by word, but do you know what they really mean and how they're affecting you in your day-to-day life? When you've had a bad week like Chris, when you've had a up and down week like Kuzi, or when you've had a really good week like what I'm saying, all those are linked to the emotions that we go through on a daily basis. So I wanted to talk today about emotional intelligence, just to dig deeper into that and see what that's all about. So, first question to gents. What do you think emotional intelligence is? What is it, guys? What do you think it is? Anyone can just take a stab at this one.
I'll take it.
And if you can, give me an example of a time when you've had to exercise this emotional intelligence of yours.
Can I take it then?
Yeah, go, Chris.
So I'm just gonna use Google real quick.
Yeah, I think we're going to start calling you. We're going to start calling you Google Zonke because you Google everything, right?
Basically, emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically.
There you go. Boom. Google never lets us down.
That is a powerful definition.
Very powerful.
I think it's a powerful definition. Kuzi,
I would say the ability to understand and manage your own emotions in a positive way. Maybe that's in a way that maybe you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with certain situations, conflict resolution, or what. It's an ability to actually manage your emotions during that time.
Okay. Yeah. So from the definition that I got from Chris and from what Kudi's saying, we're saying, Kudi, so if you can manage, if you can reason, if you have empathy, your emotional intelligence is high. And if you are unable to do these things, that's what we're saying, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, answer yes, no. I don't know. What are we saying, guys?
No.
Help me out.
Look,
if you can't perceive, if you don't understand your emotions, and if you can't empathize with someone else's emotions, and if you can't manage your emotions,
I don't think empathy. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go against
emotionally, not intellectually. This is a different type of intelligence. There's intellectual and then there's emotional. I'm talking emotionally. You are a dum-dum.
Are you gonna let me talk?
Yes, ask.
Go. Go.
Are you gonna let me?
Hey, I will let you talk because I am, in tune with your emotions of wanting to talk.
No. You had that. You're right for once, and you're never gonna get it again. So stop trying.
Okay.
Stop
say
trying.
Say your word.
What I'm trying to say is that, look, emotional intelligence, people take it as such a shallow definition, which is what I want to disagree with. Yes,
Okay.
I did read the Google definition, but again, I know I said that's a deep definition. I wanted to get that affinity type of interaction with you guys, and both of you was like, oh yeah, that's a good definition, that's a deep definition, but it's not. It doesn't actually get into the deep sense of being emotionally intelligent, right?
Okay.
So what I'm trying to think about it is like, in any, you can't tell me that being emotionally intelligent is about having control over your emotions. No, you cannot have. For example, I'll give you, like, what I'm going to go in is about my personal experience, right?
Okay.
I've got deep and very problems with my anger. I have very big anger issues. I'm very short-tempered, right? So anger is an emotion, right? So if I have control with my anger, does it mean that I'm emotionally intelligent?
Yes.
If I don't have control over my anger, does it mean I'm less emotionally intelligent?
Yes,
no,
because you would do things that you probably not be proud of.
That's where my argument is, right? Where my anger and how I actually deal with my anger would define how I actually do have, I'm able to, express my anger in certain situations, right?
Yeah, okay.
So having control over it doesn't make me emotionally intelligent.
What does it make you then?
You have control of your emotions.
What I'm saying is that I might burst out at you right now, and I know you guys, in the background, we've had big ass burst outs to each other, right?
True.
We've shouted at each other, right? Oh shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. That type of scenario.
We've gone in at each other.
We've gone hard at each other, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like that does not show any emotional intelligence, because nothing that gonna kutaura izozo kana ndataura izozo mangwana ndaregedza kutaura izozo, right? It doesn't make me, like, I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Okay, I kind of get what you're saying, because you're trying to say with emotions are emotions, and how you react is how you react. You see, but when you're looking at what you actually said, there are pillars to emotional intelligence. When you're looking at perceiving your emotions, this is what you're saying. You know that you've got anger issues. That in itself is a level of emotional intelligence, because you understand that, okay, snap, you've got that self-awareness. So that already is a degree of emotional intelligence. Second thing is, I anger issues. Second, I also body dumb. Why is it? So that's what I'm saying. There's 4 pillars to it: the self-awareness, the managing of these emotions, and then there's the reasoning before you actually react. I think that's the point where that's the third pillar that you haven't gotten to from your explanation, in the sense that you'd need to be in a position where you can control that, because you wouldn't want to say or do something in anger that you don't want to say or do, So I understand what you're saying. I get where you're coming from, but probably another 2 degrees that you need to get to as well. That's what I think. I don't know. Kudzi, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that, Chris, you mentioned that you have the anger issues and you know that. That's already self-awareness. So you already know what the problem is, and you actually know how to solve it. That's emotional intelligence. If someone who is probably in your position and doesn't know how to do that, you would do dumb shit, because anger will lead you to do violence. You'll end up, to say things that you
doing some things you don't want to do. Yeah.
So that's dumb.
Okay. All right, fine. We've established.
So you are emotionally intelligent to that.
We've established that you guys consider my thoughts dumb now. So maybe let's just move on.
No. Don't misquote us, bro. Don't misquote us.
I'm sorry.
You're actually saying the opposite of that.
I'm actually going to make this show very fun. So, Matsi, go ahead.
But okay, I like how you took it, because that we're getting to a point where we want to understand what exactly it means to be emotionally intelligent. But my question in this episode isn't on wanting people to be emotionally intelligent or any other thing. I want to ask you guys, or I want us to have a bit of a debate on, is it important for someone to be emotionally intelligent? Hear me out on where I'm going with this, because just it seems like, this is my opinion and where I want to drive this episode, because we can go in any direction with it. But it appears as though we're in a generation now that requires or is pushing people to be emotionally intelligent in circumstances where you actually need to be the opposite, or need to be impulsive, or need to act on your emotions. In an example could be, okay, let me take you guys back to the African context of emotional intelligence. Do you think as Africans we are a little bit behind when it comes to emotional intelligence? Looking at the way the world is going right now, and I'm going to get into parenting just now, but just from an African context, do you think we lack emotional intelligence, or we're cool, we're fine? Just as it is in general, just looking at how we are as Africans in general.
I think so. I think as Africans we actually don't. And my response is based on our parents.
Okay.
How our parents actually have raised us. I mean, when you think about it, there are 4 characteristics to emotional intelligence, right? We're talking about self-awareness, we're talking about self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and basically social skills, right? So when I look at it, I might be wrong. Obviously, if I'm wrong, please correct me, right? I feel like as Africans, we don't have that emotional intelligence in check, where if your son or your daughter comes at you and says, look, dad or mom, I'm actually going to go with dad because yesterday was Father's Day. I'm going to go with dad.
Okay.
Your daughter comes at you and says, dad, look, I'm having this particular issue. How often, or maybe the son comes and says, dad, I'm having this particular issue. How often does the father actually puts himself in those particular shoes and says, look, I understand what you're talking about? Or is it usually just muklasi or no, daddy, you need a teacher because of this and that, right? It's really not technical, but more on the emotional side with the look, my teacher is not listening to me, or is not motivating me enough to work hard because of this particular circumstance. I feel like as Africans, we don't have that capacity to teach our children, proper emotional intelligence. I don't know if I'm wrong, please correct me, because I'm not a parent. I'm just Chris.
Yeah. I mean, you're not a parent that we know of. I mean, happy Father's Day, guys.
Only my problems.
All right, cool. Chris, what do you think, bro?
I think in a way we are, in a way we're not.
Okay.
Because of how our culture is designed. So there's certain things like diffusing conflict. There's a certain way that in our culture, conflict is diffused. Let's say in a family setup or so, right? There are certain structures that were set up for that. For us to build stronger relationships, that needs us to understand and know each other better. I think that's something that was kind of ignored because culture had a way of just saying this is what we are supposed to do, and if you're not doing that, then there's something wrong. So that means it left room for people that were not understood to just stay misunderstood, and then no one actually, was to empathize with them or to even listen or to try to understand what someone would be going through. So I think we kind of ignored that part, and we kind of, had, other things that maybe if you were to succeed in school or work in an African context, you had to do A, B, C, and D. You had to go to this school, or you have to or you have to
get
study
this
in a
number
certain
of
way.
points.
Yeah,
You know,
so that you can go to school. So it's like maybe so that you pass, you go to university, and then you go to work. So that was the formula for the education that we grew up.
Okay.
It never really opened for us to say, okay, no, I've actually failed. So actually, I actually don't like school. I actually probably want to do, sewing or whatever, something that I can do with my hands. So we never really got to understand that.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you guys is that there's where we lack in emotional intelligence is mainly because of probably the way our society was built, especially in Africa, where it's very, you have to do well in school. It's very rigid as well because of our culture as well. So it's our culture being rigid, and also coupled with the fact that we've now got this new system of education that you have to succeed you have to do this for you to be a success. So there was no room for this emotional intelligence, this being in tune with how someone feels about something. This is what you need to do for you to succeed. Is that what we're saying?
Question.
Yeah.
I get your question, Batsy, but I want to answer that with another question, right?
Okay, cool.
I know for our generation, that's how it was, right? For example, my mother refused, like, whew, guys, ndakarambirwa gap year life, mom.
For what?
What do you need a gap year for? For what? What do you want to do in the gap year? That's what I got. I don't know. Is it still the same now where parents are still so very restrictive to their kids to say, with Managati, I want to be an actor? The parent is not going to support that in drama class, or the kid says, I want to be a rugby player. Are they not going to be supportive of the rugby, playing things? Because I've got a baby cousin that my baby cousin is probably one of the greatest rugby players I've ever seen in my life, right? But because it's like literally about 7 years younger than me, the parents were like, no, Jack, you're not going to play rugby. I just say, how are you going to make money in life? Period. They're done. Right. So that's about recently, right? And then now I'm thinking, is it still the same thing now with current parents? Because we old people, right? We obviously don't know how these parents are.
We old people, shame. Yeah, third floor. What?
We old people. I don't know. I don't know how people are doing that.
I'm gonna do a weird thing and answer your question with an answer.
That's three questions now.
3 questions in a row. I'm gonna do a weird thing. So okay, now I'm lying. So to answer your question, I wanna get us into a topic that I want to talk about. Have you guys watched the Red Table episode? Yeah, Will Smith and No.
Or the other one, okay.
there's a new one that came out. I think it's probably a week old now. Will Smith with Kevin Hart.
No, I haven't watched that yet. I'm actually, it's on my list right now.
I watched it a few days ago, and it was very, very insightful. And the thing that stuck out for me was, and to answer your question, Chris, is there's this thing that Will Smith spoke about, which is called the adversity paradox. This is deep for me right there, because he was speaking about a paradox where we grew up in a situation where, let me take it back a generation to our parents' generation, where they grew up in a situation where they were grinding. They had to work hard to get out of their situation so they could be where they are now, right? So they had adversity, and this had adversity, and we had our own level of adversity in our growing up as well, where we learned we now have tough skin. We know good. If you're gonna throw a punch, I'm gonna man up to it and I'm gonna throw it back. Like, we grew up in a time where there was no such thing as bullying. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's an adversity paradox in the sense that all the adversities that we went through as young children growing up have given us the drive, have given us the patience, the endurance, that make us who we are today. But those are the same values that have built us up to be where we are now. But because we've now done so well for ourselves and brought our children to this level, they are not going through that adversity so that they can get that same hard skin that we have for them to succeed in life. Did you get what I'm saying?
So basically, you're saying that success is based on adversity? Come on.
Not all the time, but a lot of people who go through adversity and get those life skills become
You get hard
successful.
skin? Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
From Kuona Motoga. Yeah.
Chief.
Dada,
We can just put it
my body used to tell me stories. My body used to tell me stories all the time.
We can't say the majority. We can't say majority.
I can't say majority. I'm just giving an example of how it happens. A lot of people have gone through it.
Fair enough. But you use the word majority.
It needs emotional intelligence for you to understand, Gucci, this is adversity and I can go through it. So I understand what you're saying too, because there are certain people that have really gone through shit and
that don't flourish through it.
But there are people that go through shit and they can still see through the shit. You know what I mean?
Can I look, I'm sorry. I feel like in this whole conversation, we're always gonna be against each other. I don't think that somebody who went through the adversity is gonna be emotionally intelligent. I don't think so.
I don't think
no.
This is exactly. I agree with you on that, Chris. I agree.
Man, like I don't know why.
Yeah.
Allow me to defend my point later, though.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Chris, go. What? Expand on what you're saying.
I feel if I'm gonna go through issues and adversity in my life, I'm not gonna be emotionally intelligent, right?
Yes.
Because at that point, I don't care what nobody thinks, what nobody wants, what nobody expects. I'm just gonna do me. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry. I wish I was allowed to curse in this show. Look, hey, I would never give a damn if I went through that type of adversity in my life.
Exactly.
What it is. Period.
No emotional intelligence at all because you've gone through it, bro. Exactly. This is the point that I want to get to.
Let me say why I'm saying that. Because through adversity, you've got things like stress and stuff. You're dealing with different stuff. What is emotional intelligence? The ability to understand, use, and manage your emotions during that particular time in positive ways to relieve that stress, to make sure you overcome those challenges, and sometimes to diffuse conflict. That is emotional intelligence.
But if you're raised in adversity, you become numb. You become numb to all that. You become numb. You won't exist in those realms.
Some become, some don't. It's not a yes. It's a yes or no thing.
Naturally, you're inclined not to care anymore.
This is quite literally where I wanted to get to, gentlemen, and I love that the two of you are opposing on this one because. I started from Turkey and it would have sucked if you guys were agreeing on this one. It would have sucked because the thing is I understand where the two of you are coming from. From Chris's point of view, I'm numb now because I've gone through the adversity. So if you talk about stress, I can't manage stress because all I do is power through it. So I don't understand it as an emotion. I don't understand it as anything. I just understand it. I need to win. This is stress. I need to win and I'm gone. It's done. No emotions. And if you come to me now, you've got a problem and you're stressed. If you then come to me telling me that you're stressed, I cannot relate or empathize with what you're going through because I'm numb to that emotion. In the same sense, I can get where Kudzi's coming from. Kudzi, okay, fine. I've gone through these things, so I'm in tune with my emotions because I've gone through them. So someone who comes to me with a similar problem, I can tell them how I dealt with it because I dealt with those emotions before. So this is now my question. This is now, okay, so I'm now taking it away, and I love how you guys have just gotten to where I wanted to get to just like that. So as men now, don't worry, the argument is not going to end quickly. I'm only adding more fire to fuel to the fire. So as men, right, we are accused of being of not being in tune with our emotions. I'm going away from how we were brought up, right, which obviously has an effect on how we are as men, right. I'm going away from our schooling system and that we're African and the stereotypes that goes with that. But just as men in general, how if necessary, right? This is why I'm saying if necessary. Do you think we need to improve our emotional intelligence? And if we do, how? This is where I'm coming to you guys from there. Based on your two polarized views on this, if we need to improve, how? If we don't need to improve, why? I'll start with Kudzi.
One, it really helps you connect with your feelings. So you really understand how you feel about certain situations. Sometimes I understand you can be numb, but it's also good to really understand why you are numb as well. That's really tuning into your item, which in turn then gives, it really provides stronger relationships with you and other people. You can then understand other people too. So it's very important. When we say as people, we need to learn how to understand other people. That means we need to have the intelligence, the emotional intelligence to do so.
Okay, that's and why is it? But according to Chris, why is it even important for us to get to that point? Why should we even care about other people then? About how other people feel? Well, fine. If so you come with your problem,
so that we can have social skills where so that we can empathize with others. That's one. One of it actually is about social skills, right? If we don't really have that, then how are you going to interact with other people, right? Okay. How can you understand other people's emotions? How can you also feel comfortable in the society, right? How can you recognize, how can you recognize even, right? This one is very powerful. How are you able to recognize power dynamics in a society? Whether at work or in a group, how? Because you just know you're just doing me, I'm just doing me, but how are you going to interact with that?
Obviously. It's
easy. Okay. Chris, Chunas, what do you think?
Can I get it?
Go for it, bro. Go, because he's thrown his 2 cents into the pot. First of all,
I just have a question for everybody who's watching this and getting entertained. If you guys even ask who did I go to the 1 year big and nobody has even commented. What the hell is wrong with you people? I don't even have that material right now.
Don't worry, bro. I'm burning up. It's winter, but I'm hot.
Can you tell people how to get that? Can you tell people how to get that merch?
No, don't worry. I'll tune them. All they need to do is DM though, because in Harare and Canada, we've got these things and we're pushing to have them everywhere in the world right now. So all you have to do is look for us on Instagram, on Facebook, and we'll get back to you, or even DM me. I'll share my number later on in the show, and then you can get your merch, bro. This is fire.
I'm sorry. In UAE, you're not going to get these hoodies because it's too hot.
Not yet. It's too hot. We're not even going to supply UAE.
I'm not going to give you none of that. Now, going back to what Kudzi is saying, look, even when you tell me about, hey, I have to care about somebody where I grew up my whole life fighting to be where I'm at. Chief, I'm not even going to say 3-4 arguments. This is the only one I'm going to give you. Why should I care about all these other people? Why? Chief, look, at the end of the day, why? Exactly, why? Look, Chief, my point is this. Yes, you might want to have that emotional intelligence. Okay, let me do this, let me do that, let me bring in your life. You become numb to those situations, right? You become numb to so many things, right? And for example, I'll tell you one thing. This is my personal experience, right? I experienced racism at a very young age in my life, right? And it happened multiple times, right? Man, by the time I was 15, 16 years old, I did not even give a shit. Sorry to curse, gentlemen, but I didn't care. Mm-hmm. To this point right now, if somebody tells me some nonsense, yes, I might tell them, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I'm still getting my bread, I'm still getting my bag, and I'm still good. I don't care at this point. You know what I mean? So what I'm just trying to say with that example is that at the end of the day, if you have adversity, meeting and dealing with people who are not giving you or working with you, because don't forget one thing, right? When it comes to emotional intelligence, it doesn't matter how much you are emotional intelligent. It doesn't matter how much you are emotionally intelligent. It also matters how that person is also well versed with that. Are they educated enough to deal with that? Are they educated enough to have that conversation with you? If they're not, man, look, You might be as smart as hell when it comes to that, being emotionally intelligent. Zero. You're not gonna go anywhere.
Okay.
Period.
But that's not
Okay.
your job for you to do that, though. You just, dealing
What?
with
How do
someone
you do that?
just
How do
met
you achieve
outside.
that? But how do you do that?
Oh,
What I'm hearing from Chris right now is that you are saying that it doesn't. My understanding of emotional intelligence is that you are. It's how people it's how people experience you, right? It's how people experience you based on how you portray yourself. So if they don't, it doesn't. What you're saying, Chris, is emotional intelligence is not important because at the end of the day, what they think of you as nabasa is not as nabasa.
It's about you.
So it's about you, and that's okay.
Exactly.
Whereas Kuzi, your argument is your argument is based on your network is your net worth. That's what you're kind of saying, Kuzi, and Mr. Marketer. That's what you're saying, right? For you to be able to have an impact on society, you need to be intelligent enough to interact with the society that is around you.
You can never ever sell yourself if you're not good enough. Period. You know what I mean? That network that Kuzi is talking about.
You didn't say those were my words.
Scenario is look, you can't primarily ever sell yourself or sell a business deal or whatever the case may be without actually knowing how much you're worth. As long as you know how much you're worth, Chief, you don't need.
It doesn't matter.
Intelligence. You don't need that.
but
Look,
even if you're selling, you have to understand your customer, Rasha.
Chief, you don't need emotional intelligence for that.
This is
You
right
want
down my
statistics.
alley, bro.
Chief,
You have to understand the person you're selling to.
I
So
do the
if you get
exact same
it,
stuff, right?
no, bro, it's not one's
I
bro.
do.
How
As long
are
as,
you?
as
Chris,
Okay,
say your point.
How are you going to go and sell to someone that you do not know anything about? You have to understand your clients, right? You really have to understand them. You can't get there and say, I don't care about you. I'm just doing me. So you just buy whatever that I have. Bro, you have to understand if they
That's where you don't get it. See, that's where you don't get it. Nowadays, with marketing, it's not about how you talk. There's statistics on consumer technologies, how they buy, how they run things. You don't need emotional intelligence anymore in this world, boss. You don't need it. It is an outdated theory
I beg
now.
to differ, bro. I sell every day in my life. I'm a vendor. I sell Butong, bro.
I'm not going to sway each side because
you need that, bro.
I'm just gonna ask.
I'm loving this conversation today.
I'm just gonna ask a question. So we're leaning on two sides where being a people person and being a one-man show are two. We're now robots. That's what you're saying, Chris.
No, having emotional intelligence doesn't mean you have to be a people's person. It
but robots
you just have to be able to maneuver socially. By maneuvering socially, you have to be able to understand other people. You have to have empathy. You have to understand other people's emotions. You have to understand other people's emotions.
And this is linked to people's emotions.
Manipulation.
Yes.
Whatever you do, it's about manipulation. Marketing is defined. Look, if you think
emotional intelligence.
Exactly. Look, it's the same.
It's linked.
It's the exact same thing. You can't sell nothing if you can't manipulate your client. No matter what you do, you want to sell. The end goal is to sell the product or the service. At the end of the day, you can't do that without
manipulating.
Nowadays, it's called relationship selling, bro.
It's just got a different name. So exactly what you're saying, Chris.
No,
Dodge, I'm sorry, dog. I wasn't gonna pick a side, but I'm saying, look from this point of view. Look, I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry.
Debate my shit, though. You don't need emotional intelligence to solve shit.
But the way you're saying it,
Bazi.
but what I understand what you're saying, Chris. There are numbers, there's statistics that lean towards whatever the case may be. Yes, but I'm saying, what are the software is telling you to do?
Look,
what are they telling you to do?
Let me tell you. Look, I'm an IT guy. You know my background is in computer.
Exactly.
artificial
What
intelligence.
are they telling you to do?
They tell me I know hacking for days, right? I'll tell you one thing, guys. All Google does is listen to whatever the hell you talk about. There's no emotional intelligence involved in that. You could see when you guys have a conversation about toothpaste, right? The next thing y'all gonna see is Oral B. Oh, sorry, I don't like mentioning brand names and shit.
Toothpaste. Oral B, Colgate,
For the next 2 days, you're just seeing different types of toothpaste. You know what I mean? You don't need that type of connection anymore. All you just need to do is make a formula that is better to sell to your clients. So that data that you think you don't sell, you are actually,
it's a machine you're talking about. We're talking about people, bro.
You can tell me about people. You can tell me about people, but you don't need people to sell stuff anymore. Period. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because people gonna buy anyway.
People will buy whatever is cheap. Period. Chief.
So when we bring it back, let's bring it back, guys. I think we might be losing it a bit. Let's bring it back to the topic, which is emotional intelligence, in the sense that
I win. I win.
You are not being emotionally intelligent, but being arrogant because you haven't won yet. So my point is, if we bring it back to emotional intelligence, we've gone into the marketing of it and the importance of it based on from a marketing point of view, right? But let's look at it from. I want to come back to the issue of children, of the new generation that is being brought into the world, and taking into account what we're talking about in the sense of the markets that we're dealing with, in terms of the people that we're dealing with in this generation that we're in right now. So I know we're all not parents at this point right now, right? But I'm just saying, when it comes to parenting, right, to what extent do we need to cater to the next generation's needs of that? I know you're saying Ashnabasa, Chris, but to what extent do we need to cater to the needs of the next generation, next generation's need for emotional intelligence, listening to how they are, listening to their emotions, their feelings, because that's what's being pushed to us now. We may not have experienced it, but that's something we now need to pay attention to, don't you think? So yeah, guys, that's what I feel like. The next generation is calling. Like, just like I remember an example. Like, I remember I had my uncle of mine. He passed away a couple of months ago. R.I.P. Bankuru. He always used to give me issues about hugs. His generation wasn't all about hugs, right? But for me, a hug is an important way of showing me that you love me. You're my bali, bro. Give me a hug. Me and my father, I hug, you know? So I remember the last time we were chilling, and we're saying goodbye. I did like, so give me a hug, you know? And then he was like, that's right. And he tells my hugs genuine. I don't do hugs. It's not something we grew up doing. You know, and then he saw good man was dejected, right? Then he's like, all right, you know, then he gave me a hug. That was important for me because my generation accepts hugs, and he conformed to what my generation needs, you know. It may not be a big deal, but it's something that he saw was a need for me. So in the same vein, right, is it not important because the kids that were growing now, though, they need that emotional intelligence from us. You know, back it's different from when we were growing up. If you've got a problem in you go na mama, but you know, shut up, you can't say urguyema to a kid now. You want to, what's wrong, my son? Are you okay? I mean, our nieces and nephews, and they demand you to have that emotional intelligence over and above the marketing that we've been talking about. Let's talk about our kids. What type of unlearning and learning do we now need to do as a generation for the next generation? Chris, you're itching, bro.
They are a needy generation, bro. They just want so much validation in life. Yes, I do understand. We need to adapt to the times. Fair enough, right? We adapt. We give them cell phones when they're what, 5 years old, buy them tablets and all that nonsense. Look, when it comes to, when then it boils down to emotional intelligence, these kids need to learn and appreciate how they're being raised. It's not about me being emotionally intelligent and being so sophisticated to say, I understand how you feel. Bruh, they are children. You need to understand, they are children.
But their feelings are valid.
Listen, Batsy, listen. They
Okay.
do not know what they want. Kids don't know what they want. Naturally,
True.
I think
To a very large extent, yeah.
Scientifically, I think they say that a brain matures or actually becomes an adult at 25 years. Bruh, what you gonna tell a teenager?
Bro,
Everything
you've been an adult for just 5 years. Ish.
I guess so, right? But then what are you gonna tell a teenager to feel, how to act? How are you gonna assimilate how they feel at that point? You can't. You can't empathize with a teenager. Yes, you have gone through that. You was a teenager, but you can't obviously relate to what they're going through now, right? What you're doing is teaching them life. That's a parent's job. Teach them life. Izozo, that's emotional intelligence. Or it's like azofunga kuti nini nasi. And look, I don't want to say this, but
okay, let's give you a breather. Goodsy, what do you think, bro?
Please, because
you see, okay, I agree with Chris to an extent when it comes to kids are kids. I want to there's a thing of teaching them about life. But guys, we don't know what these people are going through, man. This is a different generation altogether.
But we went through it, though. We were all teenagers,
went through it differently, bro. I got a phone when I was 14. They're getting phones when they're 5 years old. It's different. What they're
it's a different generation
now is different from what we were exposed to, right?
Okay.
Probably when I was 3 or 4 years old, or whatever, I probably wasn't even able to say anything because I was shy. But right now, you can have a proper conversation with a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? Because now they're exposed. They're like normally flourish.
But what they're being exposed to, Chief, is not the right stuff to be exposed to.
Then let's debate about that.
Regardless.
Let's not say
their feelings are not valid because
let's not say their feelings are not valid. What they're being exposed to, let's deal with that. You know what I mean? Let's deal with that.
Because
one thing is, bro, our kids when they're actually teenagers, bro, I'm telling you, it will be ungovernable if we deal with it like, okay, cool. You don't know what you want until you're 25. So if they tell you that, hey, Dad, I literally am not feeling like I'm a guy. I feel like I am female inside, and I actually want to wear a skirt. What do you do?
They don't emotional intelligence.
No.
What will you do, bro?
Could he drop spike?
I will.
Could he stepping back like drop spike? What will you do, bro?
Yeah, let me comment that. Can I comment that?
Okay, I think maybe what Kuzi's saying is we can't deal with our generation of children the same way our parents dealt with us.
No.
Why not? Did we not turn out okay? We turned out perfect.
Yeah, but
look at us right now.
Turned out okay.
Brothers with voices. Look at us running brothers with voices.
Yeah,
are you
but
telling
Chris,
me that we are not
turned
okay?
out okay because we started off in a different way. We won't turn out the same way because we're not starting at the same place. Coming back to that paradox that I spoke about, we're starting from different levels.
No, I'm still going to debate this. Look, my point is these kids that are being raised right now are not being raised right. The parents of these children at this point, you can talk about emotional intelligence. Yes, they are actually doing that. No lie, they are. But that's what they're getting wrong in this raising of these kids, right? Because you can't tell me kuti inini mwana akatanga kuchema otaura kuti inini dedi ndoda kuita chakati. Wotobvuma ipapo kuti I look. I
understand what you're saying, Chris. I wouldn't do the same thing. I
I don't
now a lot
know.
of dreams were shattered because a lot of talented people. It starts from when you're a kid. It doesn't come from from 25. I want to be an artist when I'm 9.
Look,
that's what I want to do.
I mean, but Kudzi, what I want, I will tell you what I wanted to be as a child. I wanted to be a DJ. That's what I wanted to be in life.
Okay.
For me, that's a passion job. Right now, I do the Chris. See a graph, go and be a DJ. We'll pay you this amount, right? I will leave my job and go be a DJ.
Okay.
I'm actually very good at music selection. If you guys ever need, I'm just marketing myself, not Brothers with Voices right now. But what I'm trying to say is this, right? At the end of the day, I had this dream when I was a kid. I did not know what the hell I wanted. If you give these kids an option of saying or making that type of decision at that age, what are you going to have? You're going to have a dependent at the age of 45 and you're 70, living off your pension, trying to make sure that your kid is going to be a DJ at 45. Okay?
No. Okay.
Yes. That's what's going to happen.
Here's the thing. I am playing moderator as best as I can because I completely understand what Chris is saying. We're going to be raising grown-ass kids. Exactly. If we give them these options. I get it. But they should surely. I get what Chris is saying, but surely there's middle ground though. Like there should be a middle ground where
children, they don't deserve a choice.
Nah, you see, this is where welcome to. I'll give you an example. Okay, in fact, I'm not even gonna give this example, but because it will take this show too long, and we're running out of time. But this is so juicy, damn it. Okay, so I'll let Kudzi speak on what Chris has said, and I'll leave my emotions out of this, and we can get back into on other social.
Leave your emotions out of this.
Yeah, you see, one is emotional intelligence, another is
I want to punch you. I want to punch both of you guys right
now. Chris, you're done for the day. I'm not going to ask you another question. Kudzi, I'm going to give you a chance to conclude. I'll do that. Kudzi, respond to what Chris has just said. Then I'll ask Chris to conclude. They will talk about this in the socials, and we'll continue somewhere else because we won't finish today.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I understand what Chris is saying. If we then listen to whatever that they say, then they become ungovernable. They need to be governed in a way. But we cannot ignore how they feel. Let's try and incorporate the life skills that, like, what we want for them, and also hear what they want too. And find, as a parent, as intelligent as we are, let's now find the middle ground of seeing how best we can now raise them to not be, what did you say, grown-ass kids or grown-ass parents? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, grown-ass kids.
Yeah, grown-ass kids. Then maybe you don't raise such a kid. But I think if we are to involve what they want and what we want, if we are to listen to our kids, I think we can actually learn a lot more. Because at the end of the day, all you're going to do is just be raising your kid the way you were raised, of which is a different time. It's really a different time. My mom was raised differently, My mom wakaenda kuchikoro boarding school ne one bar green the soap ne maputi ne mazoe. So if I went to boarding school and she says no kukudza mwana vondita the same thing, isusu manje nguva yedu kwamuna na Dutch vauya ne maJordan.
It wouldn't work.
My mom didn't understand that I also wanted a Jordan and says ndakamboenda kuchikoro ndaipfeka masandak. Bro, it doesn't work. These are different times, right? That's one case.
Put your hand down. I'm giving you a chance.
No. Another one is the Yanambo Taura Kuti, we have different preferences. Kids are now, we now have different types of, like you have to understand some of the issues that we suffer from now were not treated when we were kids. Some of the things, maybe if my parents understood me better, they could have said, I know. Let's kind of deal with it now so that maybe later on it doesn't. It's those things that, our parents said, Siyakadaro.
Yeah.
And those people grow up to be those things, and those things grow and grow and grow. And now they're just grown people that don't know how to control their feelings. They don't know how to control their anger. They don't know how to control these things because of certain things.
Okay, cool. Chris, chill. So what we're doing right now is I'm not going to ask. I'm leaving this one open-ended. Chris, Kuzi, you didn't win nothing. Chris, you didn't win This wasn't even a debate to begin with. It's just how we feel about stuff. Right, so what I'm going to do is listen. Let's run away from the debate or whatever it was that was happening right now. And Chris, I'm going to give you a minute to give your concluding remarks on emotional intelligence, how you feel about it, and what you think, where you think we should be going with this topic in our day-to-day lives. I'll do the same thing for Kuzi, then we conclude. And I'm timing y'all. When your minute comes up, you're done. I'm cutting you off. All right, so let's go. Chris, your minute starts now.
Kuzi is stupid.
You got 50 seconds, bro.
If you stop laughing, I'll tell you why. Kuzi is dumb.
I'm not pausing, but you got 40 seconds now.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm obviously gonna stay conflicting with Kuzi when it comes to this. I feel like naturally, for example, when we're talking about children, they don't need that freedom to make those decisions. If my mother had let me and was emotionally involved with me, I would be a DJ running around with no sense in my life. Okay? Those kids do not deserve a right to know what they do. And especially when you're talking this Gen Z right now, who live on TikTok. What the hell would you want to give them freedom for? Right? No, that's not even fight. No, boss.
Time up. You waffle too much. Hey, this is what happens when you waffle too much.
You spent 20 minutes laughing about my...
Hey, bro, that was your fault. How you just started with the Kuzi's dumb. Anyway, that's done. Kuzi, your minute starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Okay, I say... Okay, I'm just joking, man. You know I love you, bro. Intelligence, emotional intelligence got 4 pillars, man. Self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, and relationship management. You cannot ignore those things. So I think they're important because a lot of people are suffering from poor performance in school because of that. Poor performance in the workplace because of that. Physical health, stress, which then leads to blood pressure and stuff because of that. Mental health issues, anxiety and depression, they also stem from those things, right? Your relationships, the relationship that we have, they suffer because we don't know how to be in tune with each other's feelings. So emotional intelligence is very key, very, very key for us. How many seconds do I have, Batsrai? No. Another one. Chris, you are stupid.
No.
Danzo. Okay. Guys, I'm taking a page out of Chris's book and I'm going to say, let's leave this one open-ended. Let's leave this one open-ended. I'm sorry, Dutch. Dutch. It's over.
I got you like this.
Dutch, what you can do for us is tell us about our socials. How about that?
I'm hurt. I'm deeply hurt. You guys do not have whatsoever is called emotional intelligence.
Because your feelings are hurt.
My feelings are hurt. You guys don't care about my feelings. Clearly. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, remember, as always, we are on multiple platforms, right? That is on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. Remember to share this with everybody you know. Remember to constantly share the episode itself, right? Not just the page, but the episode that you just watched. Because believe me, it might not be helping you. It is probably helping the next person you know, right? They might not admit it. They might not have that emotional intelligence to know that it's important to them. But please remember to just share that episode with them so that they know what matters and believe what it matters. So remember, ring that bell on YouTube, subscribe and ring the bell. Follow us on Instagram, share us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Oh, Twitter, sometimes, maybe. Just try and follow us.
Just do something.
We'll do something on Twitter. I don't know. We'll get you on there. But nonetheless, that is from me. Apparently, I don't have enough time to talk, so I'll pass it on.
Yeah, could you just tell us about the merch, bro? What are we doing with Brothers with Voices right now, bro?
Man, right now we've got merch right now in different colors, guys. Different colors. If you want black, gray, green, yellow, army green. What else? Pink,
Everything.
purple,
Purple, everything.
white,
Black, baby.
Right. If you're in Zim, holla at your boy, Batsrai Muka. He's going to give you his number. It's actually right down here, right now. Please follow Brothers with Voices and make sure that if you get this merch, take a picture and send it to your loved ones so that they can also get one too. Actually, tag people right now in the comment section right now that you think would probably love this merch and our content.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm
concluding. I'm the captain. Open-ended. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a fire episode. Really enjoyed it. I mean, I think the essence of this one was just for us to understand the importance of it. Whether we need to do better. Whether we need to do better with our emotional intelligence, if it's important or not. This is the debate that I think we should just have at this point. You know, like these are the conversations that we want to start having because these are the things that we're not talking about enough. So yeah, guys, this is what we thought about emotional intelligence today. If please share your views and your thoughts in the comments below. We will be looking at them, we'll be following, and would love to hear what you're saying. Hands are up. I'm trying to ignore them, but these guys are just snapping their fingers. Okay, what?
Please, can I say something?
Say something, Chris.
Okay. So guys, I just want to ask you a question. Do you feel that as men, emotional intelligence is important? Right. Because naturally,
share in the comments, guys. What do you think? Do you think it's important for men to have emotional intelligence?
Yeah. Because I look, hey, anyway,
we all know what you think, but yes, please, guys, help Chris out. Answer this question. Do you think emotional intelligence is important for men? Do we even need that, or our place is just to provide? I don't know. So just share with us, and we see what's up there. So yeah, thank you again. It's been another fire episode of Brothers with Voices. Please, also, there's some exciting stuff happening on Instagram. If you are lucky, you may find yourself getting some free merch. If you're in Zimbabwe, I'm sorry. Zimbabwe is always excluded from promotions. Now we're excluding everyone else. If you're in Zimbabwe, you may get yourself some free merch. So please look out for our Instagram page. And this has been us. And thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week from the Brothers.
Oh, sorry, we have to. Sorry, which one? Okay.